Hey, in this video I'll be talking a little bit about ConstCorrectness. So const is a feature in C++, a keyword that lets you declare that a variable is not going to change, that its value is going to stay the way it is. This doesn't enforce that it's going to stay the same forever, but it means that in the function that you've declared it as const, you are not going to touch it. So in Visual Studio, I am building off of the last video on rule of 3 because it gives me a convenient place to talk about const. I had used const in the copy constructor and the copy assignment operator in order to say that this array holder object, other, was not going to get messed with. We are simply copying, reading values from it. We are not changing it. We're not writing any values to this object. So this will enforce it too. If I try to change anything, other.size++, for example, is going to give me an error saying it's not a modifiable L value. It cannot be on the left-hand side of an assignment operator. So we can't mess with it. So that's one way to be const correct, is using const when you intend not to change a variable. I'm using a constant reference here so that I avoid making extra copies. If I had just declared this as like so, I would be making copies of this other object every time that I use this function. I would make a temporary copy when I pass it in. Okay, so I want it like that. The other place that const correctness comes in for classes is when you are using functions that should not be able to change the class. So for example, here other.size is a variable and I could try to change it, but I'm not allowed to. What I could have done is say const.size parentheses, and this is just getting the size value in a different way, right? Just calling a function. But it is telling me that I can't do that because other is declared as const. The object has type qualifiers that are not compatible with the member function that I have declared. So other is constant, it cannot be changed, and there's no guarantee that size, this function, doesn't change it. That's what the const keyword is for in this case. So I could go down and I can say, alright, the size function should never be able to change any variables in this class. So let me declare it as const, and the const goes at the end of the function, which is kind of weird. But it's saying that the function itself is treating the object it's working on as const. So it's sort of that implicit argument, this object. So now it knows that this function can be used on a constant object because it won't modify it. It's guaranteed. And that's const correctness in a nutshell. I will see you later.